Welcome to the City of God Families, a short monthly podcast for the entire family with the hope that it inspires meaningful conversations and equips parents and children with a biblical worldview. The City of God Families is produced by Coral Ridge Ministries and the Institute for Faith and Culture. I'm Pastor Rob Pacienza, and today we're talking about generosity and stewardship. As we approach Thanksgiving, a time when we reflect on the blessings in our lives and express gratitude, it's also a perfect time to consider what the Bible teaches us about generosity and stewardship. How can we be good stewards of the blessings God has given us, and how can we cultivate a heart of generosity? First, let's talk about gratitude as the foundation for generosity. In 1 Thessalonians 5:18, Paul writes, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." Gratitude helps us recognize that everything we have is a gift from God. When we are truly thankful, we are more likely to share our blessings with others. Next, consider the biblical principle of stewardship. Psalm 24 verse 1 tells us, "The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it." That verse reminds us that everything we have belongs to God, and we are merely caretakers of His creation. Stewardship means managing God's gifts responsibly and using them for His glory and the good of others. In the parable of the talents, Jesus teaches about stewardship by telling the story of a master who entrusts his servants with varying amounts of money before going on a journey. When he returns, he finds that two of the servants have invested and multiplied what they were given, while the third has hidden his talent out of fear. The master praises the first two servants for their faithfulness and their diligence, but rebukes the third for his lack of initiative. This parable illustrates that God expects us to use our resources wisely and to increase His kingdom with what we've been given. Thanksgiving provides a wonderful opportunity to practice generosity. There are many ways to do this: donating to a local food bank, volunteering at a shelter, or simply inviting someone who might be alone to share in your Thanksgiving meal. These acts of kindness not only bless others, but also help us grow in Christ-like character. Contentment is another key aspect of generosity and stewardship. Hebrews 13:5 reminds us, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, 'Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.'" When we are content, we recognize that God's provision is sufficient, and we're less likely to hold tightly to our possessions. Here are some points to discuss with your family as you prepare for Thanksgiving. First, the importance of gratitude. Talk about why it's important to give thanks to God in all circumstances and how gratitude can lead to generosity. Talk about a hardship that your family has endured and how you still give thanks to God. Second, understanding stewardship. Discuss what it means to be a steward of God's gifts and how we can use our resources to honor Him. What is something God has blessed your family with that you steward daily? Third, practicing generosity. Brainstorm ways your family can be generous during Thanksgiving and throughout the year. Fourth, finding contentment. Reflect on the importance of being content with what we have and trusting in God's provision. Parents, share your own experiences of time when you felt the joy of giving or seen the impact of responsible stewardship. Tell your children about ways your family has practiced generosity in the past and how it's blessed others. So as we gather around the table this Thanksgiving, let's do so with hearts full of gratitude, minds committed to good stewardship, and spirits eager to share God's love through acts of generosity. Let's remember that every blessing we have comes from God, and we have the privilege of using these blessings to serve others and glorify Him. Thank you so much for joining us on the City of God Families. May God bless you richly this Thanksgiving, and may you find joy in giving and gratitude in every blessing. The City of God podcast is produced by Coral Ridge Ministries and made in partnership with the Institute for Faith and Culture. Visit us at cityofgodpodcast.com to access all of our previous episodes. You can also listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get podcasts. A full video version of this podcast is available on YouTube. This is the City of God podcast, where Christ meets culture.